This is the second episode of F&L Unleashed, and today we're here with Eric Ramos. Eric, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey guys, my name's Eric Ramos, 17 years old, here from Atlanta. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys for having me here today.
Of course.
Yeah, so the main reason we brought Eric on is because he has done he's had some small streams of income in the past, some great success, others not so much, but he's working on some new stuff, so we're here to pretty much get to know what his plans are for the future and some of his backstories. He's did pretty good in the shoes, struggled with cards, and now is working on something new.
Yeah, SEO, search engine optimization.
SEO, I'm not familiar with that, but hopefully I will be by the end of this. So let's just start with shoes. How did you get into that?
Well, yeah, I first got into the shoe business when it was first from a school project we had in one of our business classes, and we had to create a business. And my friend and I had an idea of reselling shoes since it was a popular business, probably a side hustle, during that time. And we first started off with getting one shoe, and we made around $150 profit off that shoe. And we actually did get a really good grade on that project. So we decided, hey, if we can get a good stream of income while being at school, doing it part-time, we might as well do it. So we first started getting more information, researching in the industry, in the shoe reselling industry, and we found that they release pretty often. There's the retail, which is the price that Nike, Adidas, all those companies sell for, and there's the resale, which is the market price. And the resale price is determined on the demand and the supply of the shoe. So the higher the resale, the more the shoe was in demand, the more popular it was. So we started researching, we would get into groups, and we started scaling our business more and more. And we ended up crunching some numbers, and in the first year, we made $30K revenue and $9K profit, which was really good for the first year, being 15, 16-year-old students in school doing it part-time while at school, since most of the sneaker releases were at 10, and we were in classes, but most of our teachers were chill about it, and they would let us enter the shoes. But yeah, it was a good side hustle that we could do during school. It was a good stream of money for us since we were students, and we had to focus a lot in school too. So yeah, it was a great business.
Nice.
Yeah.
Obviously, shoe reselling is a huge game, kind of with kids our age, young adults. So how did you know it was something that you could succeed in and it wasn't completely oversaturated?
Well, it was a bit oversaturated. There was a lot of people entering for the shoes. Some people were entering for personals, and some people were entering for the resale. So it was a decently oversaturated industry, but we knew that if we had the right information, the right tools, we could beat the game. We could start getting more and more shoes, and that would make us more profit, So we had to kind of do our research, know the game, and do well in order for our business to succeed. So we would do the research, get the shoes, and then we'd resell them on online platforms third-party platforms like StockX, eBay, Go, and then we'd also sell them in person through Facebook, Marketplace, OfferUp, and our Instagram too. Our Instagram was really great. We had around 900 to 1,000 followers. We did really good on our Instagram. We also sell to in-store reselling shoe businesses inside malls like Perimeter and stuff like that. So it was pretty good. Not so bad, especially for us being young age, kind of new into the business industry.
What are some kind of valuable lessons you learned, not just for reselling shoes, but kind of just in business in general?
Well, in business at a young age, I kind of learned how to manage my money. So something that was important was knowing what's revenue, what's profit, how much capital you need to reinvest, and how you need to reinvest your money into your business in order to succeed. Because for example, all right, I get the shoe for $100, now resell for $200, and I spend that $200 on clothes. Now I don't have any money to reinvest in my company,
Right.
So you kind of have to be smart with it. And at first, money's going to be tight, but it's kind of like a risk you're gonna have to take, and you're gonna be struggling at the beginning. But once you go more and more, you'll do better, make more money, and you'll have more capital, which you can reinvest into your business. So sometimes we'd have $5,000-$10,000 in capital, and we'd reinvest it in buying shoes backdoor, which was we would get connections through in-store places, and they would give us like a mass amount of shoes and we'd resell them. That's how we make a lot of profit. Like there was like times where I would get 15 pairs. I remember one time I actually did get 11 pairs of shoes for free.
Yeah.
So I made around like $2,000-$3,000 off those shoes.
Was that the Crocs?
It was the Crocs. So I had these black Crocs, right?
Yeah.
They're like the Salhi Bembury Crocs, something like that. They're pretty ugly, but you know, they would sell. They would sell for good money. And
how was your acquiring these Crocs?
So the funny story was this bot was supposed to get me one Croc, right? Because like the profit was like so $30-$40 per shoe of profit, and it accidentally bought 13. I think it was 13 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
And my bank account was drained. It was like at $40.
Yeah.
So my bank account was drained. And I was like, uh-oh, like, what am I going to do? I don't really have any more capital. I'm not going to make that much profit with all the fees that the third parties where I would sell it on because there were big sizes, small sizes 6, 7. There's big sizes like 14, size 15 that like not a lot of people like in that size wanted, right? So I made a dispute with my bank and I actually won the dispute since the company didn't respond back to me trying to return the shoes since they had like a return policy. So I got the shoes for free and I got my money back. So it was around an easy $2,000-$3,000 off of a mistake that they did. And I was like, I mean, I try to help you guys by returning the shoes and you guys get back my money. But I mean, if you guys didn't want to answer back my emails, hey, I mean, game's a game.
How long did it take you to sell all those Crocs?
Well, the process, I remember getting the shoes in November, and I won the dispute in January, but I couldn't sell the shoes because I didn't have to send them back to the company, or if I would have to sell them, I didn't know what was the thing there. So I waited, so it was around 2 months. I got my money back when I did the dispute, so I had money to reinvest into my business.
Yeah. But
it took around 2 months from like when I made the dispute until I won.
Yeah.
And then it took me about less than a month to sell those Crocs. It was like 13 pairs,
wow.
Small sizes, big sizes, and like.
So you made $3,000 off those pairs?
Yeah.
Is that the most you ever made in a month?
Yeah.
Wow.
Around 3,000, and then that's
or in profit.
Well, it was all profit since I didn't really pay anything for the shoes.
Okay, so what's the most amount you've made in revenue in 1 month?
In 1 month, I think it was around $5,000, and that's around the holiday season. So that's Q4, which is from October to December, since it's the holiday season. You know, everyone's buying presents and all that stuff. So that's more money for us, and there's more shoes that are coming out. So yeah, Q4 was probably like our most successful that year. So it was last year Q4, and best month we had was around 5-6K revenue, around 2 to 3 profit.
And I know that you don't do shoes now, so what, like making those type of numbers, I mean, I'd say that's a steady side gig, and it sounded like you were making good money, so why did you drift away from it? What made you stop?
Well, the reason I kind of drifted away is because the shoe game was kind of falling down. So the companies were making more quantity in the shoes because they knew if they made more quantity, the resale prices would go down. So it wasn't really worth being in the reselling shoes industry, and also it would be a big distraction for school, because for me school's something that's important, because my mom, she always wanted me to succeed in school, and I wanted to be happy, you know. So it was a big distraction for me. So I was like, well, I kind of have to give this up so that I could focus more on school, because it was finals and have a focus. But now that I kind of try to like get back in the past few months, it's just really hard since there's not really any more shoes that like have great profit, you know. So it's just something that's like kind of like fell off. Not that many people resell shoes, and it's kind of less popular, you know.
Is it one of those markets where, like, let's say you bought a certain pair of shoes like last year, right? Like, would they be worth a lot now, or is it kind of just like an up and down market with those type of shoes? Is it like you have to know when to sell, or is it like they just steadily go up? How does that work?
It depends on the shoe. So there's sometimes when the shoe re-releases.
On average, like what does it usually look like? Is it usually like a wavy market, or is it more like a steady incline on like an investment where per se you invest in something and it's slowly grooving up, like a less risk stock, I guess you could say, or is it something that's high risk?
It's kind of just really depends on the shoe. So most shoes do go a little bit up. It's not that much of a difference. If it's like a shoe from like 5-10 years ago and you sell them now, there's going to be a big difference. But if it's like a shoe from like less than a year, it's only going to be like $40-$50.
Especially if they haven't came back out.
Yeah. If they re-release, the price goes even more down. And if they don't come out and they get more demand, the higher
Has
the
that ever
demand.
happened to you where you had a value of a shoe that was an insane amount and then the company decided to release another wave of them out and the value of the shoe you had just dropped? Has that
Yeah,
happened to you?
that happened to me, and it was another issue with the bots. So it was
Wow.
these pink dunks, small sizes, and they re-released the shoes. So I made like $5-10 profit. It was stressful. I had like 9 pairs of those shoes. I went into like one of those like in-store like reselling stores. They didn't want to buy them off of me, so I had to sell them on the online platforms.
What were they worth before that?
Well, they were worth like $140, and then when the bot got them for me, they went down to like $120.
Jeez.
And with retail being around $90 plus taxes and all the fees, it's just the profit was it was a small margin, you know.
What's the most you've ever sold a shoe for?
The most I've ever sold a shoe for were the Travis Scotts. They were the reverse mochas. I sold those for 1.5, 1.6. So it was pretty good profit. It was around profit wise, it was like 1.3, 1.4. And then there's also other shoes like the Jordan 4 Almond Rays, and like these collab, like the shoes where like they collab with other companies. Those are also really great money makers.
So now that you don't do shoe selling anymore, if someone were to start tomorrow, like what information or how about if you were to start again tomorrow, what would you change from your original business plan to
My
be more successful? For
Oh
sure.
yeah, like you did this in the beginning solo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like would you partner up? Would you take a different approach? How would you approach it if you were to start tomorrow from square one?
If I were to start from tomorrow from square one into like the reselling shoe business, I would maybe try to find a partner. Obviously, having a partner, there's many pros. There's also some cons to it.
Right.
So I mean, finding someone that's trustworthy is a big factor to it. And I sometimes have little trust issues with some people
Yeah.
from past experiences. So that's why it's a little bit hard to partner up with somebody. But I mean, yeah, partnering up with somebody is really great. You know, there's someone that can give you feedback and someone that supports you. But it can also be in some instances that someone that brings you down.
Right.
So you also have to find like the perfect, not the perfect, like a really good partner that's gonna bring you up, not down. It's gonna give you advice, and like you guys as a team are gonna strive together and thrive and be really good in like the business, you know.
Right.
But if I were to start from square one, I would try to find a good partner that's trustworthy and just find information online. There's a lot of free information. But obviously, like the paid information gives more depth, more detail. So investing into finding like information on Discords, that's also really good.
Did you have any courses when you first started, or was this just like, have you had any courses before?
Not in shoes. It was more of like group info
Okay.
where I would pay. The most I paid was like $100 a month, but it offered really great info. So it was kind of an investment. You know, I would pay them and they would give me info on the shoes. So sometimes there would be something called shock drops, when it's like out of nowhere, the company like Nike, they drop the shoe and like those shoes go instantly, but no one knows like beforehand. So those info groups kind of like, they know because they have like systems.
Right.
And they can like detect when a shock drop's gonna come out,
Right.
and then with that, you know.
So that's like pretty much what they do for a living. Like they're like massive, pretty much groups that do this just as a daily business, pretty much.
Yeah, they do that as a daily business, and they also will resell on the other hand too. But you know, that's like kind of like their main stream of income
Right.
by providing info to like subscribers.
Okay, cool. And then I guess, have you ever encountered any scams? Have you ever dealt with something like that?
Yeah, I hate those. Probably the biggest scam was when I sold my Xbox, because I quit video games because it was a big distraction for me. So I sold my Xbox, like the Series X. So it was like it wasn't brand new.
You
but
bought,
it went
this
for-
was just like, this was one of the resale things you were doing. You just bought it
Yeah.
for cheaper, but it was just
Yeah.
dealing with an Xbox.
Yeah, it was an Xbox, and I also have other shoe ones too.
Right.
But like the most amount of like money, it was $900. It was inside a mall, and the guy told me that he sent me the money. He showed me like the receipt through Cash App, and I didn't get the notification. So I was like, hey, maybe it's like a network problem, network issue, or something like that. So I kind of waited 5 to 10 minutes after he left, and I was like, oh shit, I got scammed. And I was like, fuck, now I lost $900, now I'm negative $900. I don't have $900 in my bank account, and I don't have an Xbox.
Right.
So I was like, well, lesson learned,
Yeah.
You gotta learn lessons in life in order to succeed. It was a painful lesson financially, but lesson learned. But I've also gotten scammed like 4 to 5 times they're buying shoes online. So like I would send the person the money, they would ghost me, and there's nothing really I can do about that. So I mean, sometimes with PayPal I get my money back. It kind of just depends, you know. So I've gotten scammed around like $2,000 in just shoes. So that also was the main reason why my profit wasn't so high compared to my revenue, because of the scams and all that stuff. And I took some losses on a few shoes. I remember I bought these ugly shoes. This bot that picked up those shoes, and I lost like $200 on there too. So.
Well, while we're
part
talking
of the business.
While we're talking about losses, tell me a little bit about your cards that cost you a pretty penny.
Yeah, so I had a card business during COVID, and I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe it might be I think I saw TikTok. It was like, oh, you know, maybe invest into sports cards and basketball cards. And I was pretty gullible back then, so I was like, hey, maybe I should buy sports cards of my favorite players on the Atlanta Hawks. So I bought like sport cards of like my favorite rookies, and I was like, hopefully in 5-10 years they can go up, but I don't think it's like that. So I spent around like $1,500, $1,500 to $2,000 on these sports cards. Now their value is like $1,000, maybe less. I hope more, but you know.
Scared to check.
Yeah, bank account. But you know, another lesson learned. But you know, I'm happy I'm learning these lessons at a young age, so I don't really commit them when I'm older and they affect me more financially. Because right now I also have a part-time job, and that's also like a way how I can get enough capital to invest into businesses. And you know, you learn lessons in life. Sometimes you do well financially, and sometimes you do poor. But those lessons will eventually help you succeed. So I'm grateful I'm learning these lessons young. I mean, they hurt a lot financially.
Is there any hope in the future for them to sell, or are they just like, they're done?
I mean, they're not done. I'm losing money on them. I'm losing at least $500. So
why don't you try to get them signed?
It's hard, bro. They don't want to sign the player. Like, I go to the games, especially Trae Young. I have one of his rookie cards, bro. And he just walks in, bro. He's like locked in. He walks in, he's like, hey, but he doesn't sign. Like, bro, please help me out.
If he was to sign, how much would the card be worth?
Like, also depends if you get proof or not. Yeah. If you get proof.
All right, so if let's say I'm Trae Young and I sign the card and you take a picture of me signing, how much is it worth?
Like $150 to $200 more. But it also depends on the card. So like the rookie cards, like the base rookie cards, go for a lot. Right. But it's performance based too. Right. So if the player's doing well, wins MVP, that card price goes up. But if they're doing average, the price will go a little bit up, and if they do poor, the price is going to go down. You know. So it's also like performance. That's a performance-based business of the player. So you have to kind of like research. I mean, I kind of did my research. I kind of didn't. So that's another lesson learned. But you know, it's just performance-based. You know, like you have to like kind of like see in detail, research, and see if that player is going to succeed in that sport or not. Right. You know, and I was young, 8th, 9th grade, and I didn't really know. I was just gullible. I had money laying around, like $2,000. Like, I might as well buy some sports cards. Let's see if it works out. But you know, now 2-3 years later, I'm like, yeah, that shit did not work out. But you know.
Is there hope for cards in the future, or are you completely done with?
Me personally, the card industry is declining.
Me personally, yeah. But I mean, there's some people that I think you know somebody, right? That like does really well.
Yeah, Abraham. Well, he used to it. So when he was younger, he was making like $2,000 to $6,000 a week. At your age, and then when he turned 19, he had like $1 million just in his account, ready to go, just from cards. So he obviously did a lot better than you. It seemed like Abraham knew what he was doing, and you were kind of just messing around.
Yeah, I mean that's a big part of it, but also like since like everything was kind of moving digitally at that time, so it's a little bit harder. But back then, sports cards went for more compared to now.
Expensive
but you
mistake.
know, yeah,
Very expensive.
Did you ever get into like NFTs?
NFTs, yeah, I did. I actually got one of like my.
How much money did you lose? Did you make any money?
Another $500. I think I got.
Let's think about this for a second. So you've lost how much in the shoes? Do you think?
No, profit. Only profit.
Okay, so only profit in the shoes.
9K, and then we lose 2K on sports cards. Now we're down 7K.
We're down 7K.
No.
Down to 7.
Yeah, down to 7K.
Okay. I thought you said 7K.
Oh
okay,
no,
so we're down to 2K.
No, we're down to 7K. No, okay. No. We're
down 2K to 7K.
Yeah.
What?
Do we need to draw this out?
No, all right, I got it. All right, so we start at 9K, right? For
Yeah.
the shoes, all right?
Okay.
And then we lose 2K from sports cards.
So we
Now we're at
lost 2,000
7K.
so far. So
Yeah.
we lost 2,000 so far.
Yeah. So now we're at 7K, right? Around, let's say $1,000 NFTs. So now,
1,000?
yeah, 1,000, bro.
You went back to back on L's.
Bro, I know, but these
Nobody
small L's is one day
You
gonna
only
bring
go
that
up
big
now,
W.
right?
It's gonna be that big W. It's gonna be that big
You can
W.
only go up down.
So,
So 3,000, we're at 3,000 now. What else have you lost money in?
oh, social media marketing agency, bro. That's another $2,000. That's another $2,000. Bro, these L's one day, bro. Big fat W. Big fat W. Big fat W.
I don't think I know any other like 16-year-old that's lost that much money just doing stupid stuff. How does you lose so much money in social media marketing? Like, how do you lose money in social media marketing?
And of course, that was 1,500 from Iman Gashi, bro. D1
Is he a
scammer.
Is he a
D1 scammer. D1 scammer.
Heard it here first?
Huh?
Heard it here first?
Yes, bro. Like personal experience, D1 scammer. That's what he does. I mean, unfortunately, like, he's smart,
Right.
but he also sells that course.
Right.
And some people do well in SMMA, but I was also under 18, and I couldn't have a business.
Okay.
And I was basically lied to like 3 times in that course. So, and then, so that was 1,500, and then like $500 in subscriptions, setup. Bro, I had like a nice ass setup, bro. I had a webcam, microphone for my meetings. I even bought a suit, bro. I even bought a suit, like a $200 suit, bro. I was ready, bro. I was ready. I was like,
Did you have a single meeting?
no. Bro, it's because of my payment processor. Like, in order for me to pay, like, to set up my payment processor, I had to be 18
Stripe.
for like, yeah, Stripe.
We have Stripe.
Yeah, but you also have an LLC.
Yeah. So you didn't have an LLC, right?
Yeah, I can't have an LLC because both my parents have their own businesses.
Liability.
Yeah, liability
Okay.
issues, that's why. So that's unfortunate. If I had an LLC, bro, we would have been,
You would have lost a lot more money.
we would have been up there, bro. We would have been up there. All those small L's would have been a W, bro. Look, see, LL.
So in 10 or what? 8
Where does
months?
that, wait. 2 L's, I get that, but
Yeah.
where does the third L go?
To build the other W, you know?
So you got
one, two,
you're gonna take another L,
3,
is what you're telling
4,
me.
yeah.
You gotta take one more L.
Yeah, $2,000, and that's gonna make it like 2 W's. That's W squared.
W.
Big fat W, bro. Big fat W. Big fat W.
So what do you, in 10 months or 8 months, whenever you turn 18, what is the first thing you're doing?
Well, soon I want to start building my financial plan because that's something you need, pretty sure, to make a LLC. So I have my financial plan set up. So literally at 12:01 a.m. on September 19th, I'm going on the Georgia business government website and I'm making that LLC, bro. At 12:01, I'm opening an LLC.
What would you do theoretically, like if they change the age limit to like 21, like within the next year? Wait, you're about to turn 18.
Yeah, 8
like,
months.
What would you do if they changed the age limit?
I'll go crazy, bro. I'll go crazy. Because I've waited like 4 years for that day for me to turn 18. And if they change the age limit, bro, it's game over for the
Just
government.
wait till you figure out all of the problems and
Yeah.
freaking BS you have to go through to actually like have your LLC open and running. Like it took us forever, dude.
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready.
Docs.
I've waited 4 years, bro. 4 years, bro. I'm ready for all those challenges.
All that to take another L.
Bro, it's gonna be the third L. I just need one more, and that's a W.
Alright,
That's a
that's
W.
what I
That's a
figured.
W. That's a
That's what I
W.
figured.
So you know, gotta have a positive mindset in business. You know these L's. You know, they're gonna hurt you a bit, but having a positive mindset and having discipline, it's gonna bring that W.
So what would you suggest to young people wanting to do what you did and not make as many mistakes as you did?
Number 1, do your research.
Okay.
That's big a mistake I did in all of my businesses. Sports cards, I didn't know if I invested in the right players, I wouldn't have lost money. In the social media marketing agency, if I did my research, I would have found that I'd be 18, not buying a $1,500 course and spend over $2,000 buying a nice suit, nice setup. In the sneaker business industry, researching, finding what shoes are profitable, the kind of like things to it. So researching before you invest any money, so you don't lose money. You know, that's a big mistake I did. and that's something that I don't want other people who want to pursue business to, like, for a mistake for them to do, you know?
Right.
So you have to research, you have to be well educated in that topic so you don't make a mistake that's going to hurt you financially, you know? Because especially all these young people that are trying to do businesses, they don't have a lot of capital to invest in their companies, into their businesses, you know? They maybe have $100, $200, $500, $1,000, and that is something that they cannot lose. They want to be successful, you know, they have to do their research.
They don't get as many chances.
Yeah, they don't get as many, yeah,
more
because some people,
capital,
some people have 10K, 50K capital,
Right.
they lose 3, 4K doing what, day trading, that's
Right.
fine, you know, they have the rest. But especially if like you're in like a tight capital margin, and like you need to do your research, you know, you need to know what you're doing, how to do it properly, what are the risks to it, what are the pros, what are the cons. You have to be well educated in that topic, you know.
Right.
Well, now that you're getting into SEO, kind of tell us what your plan is with that, and kind of explain what it is, because me and Dylan are
We have
too familiar on
just
it.
dumb it down.
Yeah, so SEO stands for search engine optimization. So basically, it's like this tool. You build this tool. There's this website called ClickFunnels or Go High Level, and they help you. They can help you create like a tool that will help businesses. So basically, SEO is when you help, like you make a tool that helps businesses in different ways. So for example, you can make a tool that helps a business through Facebook. So for example, you come into, I own a chiropractor, right? You're one of my customers, you come in, I get your information, I make a tool that sends you like a newsletter or like text messages, and that tool will help the businesses attract more customers to return again. So that's obviously going to bring them more money. Yeah, CRM.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your plans to compete with bigger CRMs such as like Monday and like bigger companies that already have the leading edge on you? Like, what is your plan to get up in the competition, I guess, as a young entrepreneur with little capital built up to invest in an idea like this? And are you planning on doing it solo?
Yeah, well, I may possibly have a partner that's been trustworthy, that I've been really close with since the beginning of my high school, since freshman year, and he's been a really trustworthy and close friend. So I might have to do partner, because it's obviously better. Like you guys have, I know you guys have a great connection. Sometimes you think something might be right, and Henry's like, hey, you know, there's also this to it.
Right.
There's a pro, there's a con. So a partner is obviously really great. And something, well, obviously I'm gonna do my research. That's something I would preach. I'm gonna do my research, and I'm gonna make a business plan, right?
Right.
So something important in those type of business fields is that first you have to make a case study, you know?
Right.
So with those case studies, you say, hey, business, all right? I'm gonna charge you what is my cost, and I'm gonna use you as a case study, right? To show you, well, not to show you, but to show other businesses in the futures to see if they wanna rely on you or not, right? So basically, for example, I'm the person that has the SEO as CRM, and you're the business, right?
Right.
I'm like, okay, so I have this tool that help you bring more returning customers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna charge you $500, which is my cost. I showed them my cost. Like, oh, okay, so maybe it might be trustworthy, maybe you're not, but also like it's not really a big risk, you know?
Right.
So it's like what, $500 that it's like my cost, which is building the tool, the subscriptions and everything, and then you show them, you get the results, you show them like, oh, okay, and then you use that as a case study so you can show other businesses how you help that business increase their revenue, increase their profit, and gain more returning customers.
But I'm trying to understand, how is this different from the SMA?
It's not really different. SMA is marketing on digital platforms such as Instagram,
Okay.
Google, Facebook ads, and that's kind of advertising. But the like SEO or the CRM that's like a tool that helps bring returning customers.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different, you know. The SMMA is trying to bring new customers inside to the business, while the SEO
You're getting
CRM
people that have, like, you're just trying to get them to keep coming back.
Yeah.
And be loyal to them.
Because the SMMA is oversaturated. It's something that's been on TikTok, and like basically you can call a business and be like, oh, I provide social media marketing agency. Oh, we already have that. We already have someone that's doing that for us.
Right.
And compared to SEO and CRM, which is something that's a little bit less saturated, and there's less businesses that have that, and it'll help them a lot too.
Right.
So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a bit of a long journey for me. There's a big future ahead, you know. I learned a lot of mistakes at a young age, and I'm glad to, you know, kind of like make these mistakes at a young age so I can kind of learn and build from those mistakes.
Huh. Well, it was great having Eric. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
And best of luck to you in the future with this new business model, and I hope to see you do great things.
Yeah, and yeah, guys, just don't learn from my mistakes, do your research, and yeah, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed